I'm going to talk to you guys about MSG. Michael Jordan once called it the Mecca of basketball. He said that you always want to play at your highest level when you play at Madison Square Garden. Like the city calls home, Madison Square Garden is an entertainment company that never sleeps. The firm owns some of New York City's most iconic institutions, such as the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. From boxing to sumo fights to live concerts and political events, Madison Square Garden is arguably the world's most famous arena. However, did you know that there's actually more than one MSG? MSG derives its name from the park where the first two gardens were first originated. MSG-1, which was from 1874 to 1890, opened in 1874, was owned by William Vanderbilt. It was located at Madison Avenue, 26th Street. Boxing was one of the main attractions at the time, even though it was illegal. It was still one of the main focus points of MSG-1. Flower shows, horse shows, elk conventions were also part of the MSG-1. The first indoor track and field event occurred in 1888, and the first artificial ice rink in North America opens at the Garden as well. But by 1888, it was forced to close down because in the summer it was too hot, in the spring it was just too damp, and in the winter it was just too cold, and competition for the entertainment dollar was very fierce. MSG-2 opened in 1890 to 1894. It was also located at Madison Avenue at 26th Street. It was designed by Stanford White. On top of the garden was the statue of the goddess Diana. It's in the top row there, you see it? Top of the picture is the goddess Diana. The building contained 12,000 seat theaters, a concert hall with a capacity of 1,500 space for the largest restaurant in the city, and a roof garden cabaret. MSG-2 cost about $3 million to build. The first indoor professional football game was played at the Garden. And it also hosted 32 World Championship fights, which was boxing. MSG-3 from 1925 to 1968 was located at 8th Avenue between 49th and 50th Street. Some of the highlights were the NBA All-Star Game in 1954 and 1955. One of the main attractions was the circus at the time over here. And he had 18,000 seats for boxing. The first ever event at this garden was the bicycle race. By November 24th, 1968, it had to close down as well. And now, this is the current MSG right now. From 1968 to the present, opened in February 11th, 1968. Construction cost was about $123 million. There's 9,500 square foot turns and 2 restaurants at the Garden. And capacity for basketball is 19,000, hockey is 18,000, and right now it's owned by Cablevision. The architect of the MSG-4 is Charles Luckman. Okay, events hosted at the MSG. Some of the more popular events that have occurred here is the Democratic National Convention in 1970, 1972, and 1992 was the last one. The Republican National Convention, 2004 was the last time. It was at the Garden. The preseason and the postseason NIT, which is the NCAA tournament in play, happens every year at MSG. The All-Star Game in 1994 for the NHL, and the NBA All-Star Game in 1998. The NBA Draft occurs here yearly. The NFL Draft used to be in MSG, but the last time they hosted it there was in 2005. WrestleMania, the first ever WrestleMania occurred at the Garden. WrestleMania 10 and 20th as well. There were a Rumble 2000 and the just past Royal Rumble 08 also occurred at MSG. Survivor Series in 96 and 02. Boxing events, Ali versus Frazier 2, everybody knows about that. Joe Louis and the Mecca of boxing. Right now, we'll talk to you about the Mecca of boxing. Boxing really began here at MSG. It was one of the most popular places to go and see people fight. Joe Sullivan became the first heavyweight champion to box at the original Garden when he defended his title against Joe Collins in 1882. In the 1940s, Henry Armstrong and Joe Louis were Garden fixtures. Louis made 8 successful title defenses, and Sugar Ray Robinson defeated Jay LaMotta in a Garden Classic. And guys like Ali, Frazier, Holmes, Lewis, De La Hoya, Jones Jr., Mosley have all fought in the world's most famous arena, or ring. MSG is the place where the legends are made. Be there for the next generation of great boxing moments. In the bout of the century, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, the battle of the century occurred in 1971. Right here. And right now we'll talk to you guys about famous concerts and appearances. The Pope, one of the most popular occurrences, 1979. The Rolling Stones, Elton John, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Pavarotti, and Celia Cruz, Billy Joel, Michael Jackson, and Bruce Springsteen. These, according to MSG50.com, are the 10 greatest moments in MSG history. The #1 event, according to them, is the Pope's appearance at the Garden. 1972, Elvis still at the Garden. And 2001, after 9/11, the concert that occurred there. 94 Rangers when they won the Stanley Cup in '94, and the Mathieu, I don't know what that is really. The 01 Rangers on their first home game after 9/11. 1951, Rocky Marciano defeats Joe Louis. 1993, John Starks until Michael Jordan. And the 2006 Von Messier retirement ceremony and the fight of the century, 1971. And in conclusion, the Garden is a place someone with the initial Michael Jordan once said is the Mecca of basketball. One of the famous moments in NBA history. This is one of the oldest NBA and NHL arenas in the world. Yet remains an aura of elegance that is unmatched and cannot be duplicated. And here you're on the center of the greatest city in the planet. There is nothing shabby or negative you can find here in MSG. It is truly one of the sports hallowed grounds and venue to be experienced repeatedly. Thank you very much.